Last time we built the foundation of this project. Lily pipes, hardscape and soil are all in place. In this video we'll move to the fun part, filling up the tank, planting and finally welcoming the shrimp to their brand new home. So let's get our first plant ready, the Cryptocoryne parva. This is the smallest of all the crypts. It's only 3 to 6 centimeters tall and it keeps the same leaf shape and color no matter the conditions. This needs a bit more light than most crypts, so we'll try not to shade it with other plants. So to prepare it, we'll need to remove the rock wool and we'll split it into smaller sections so it's easier to plant. Next we have Pogostemon deccanensis, or as it was named before, erectus. This is a bright green pine-like stem from India. It's perfect for the background. It grows 15 to 40 centimeters tall. It stays compact if you have strong light, and you can replant the trimmings. Now we just need to remove the rock wool and separate the stems for planting. When prepping multiple plants, we cover them with a paper towel and spray it with water. This keeps them from drying out while we work. Next we have a really interesting plant called Bucephalandra kedagang. This is a plant from Borneo, and in our video I think you can actually see that sometimes it gets this stunning blue metallic shade. We'll do the same as with the other plants, remove the rock wool and split it into smaller pieces for planting. Our last potted plant is Bucephalandra sordidula blue. This plant is from Borneo. It has very interesting blue leaves that really pop under the right light. We have here a part of the roots that is rotten. We'll just trim it off and keep the plant healthy. This is a slow-growing plant. It's easy to care for and it's perfect for attaching to rocks or driftwood. We'll get this one ready the same way. We remove the rock wool and then we split it into smaller chunks for planting. The last plant we're prepping is Anubias minicoin, one of the tiniest and cutest Anubias varieties. It has leaves smaller than a fingernail. It's super easy to grow, it prefers low light, and it looks great attached to rocks or driftwood. This one's a tissue culture, so we'll just rinse off the gel in lukewarm water before adding it to our scape. This one is so pretty, look at that. We've got these perfect little crevices in the hardscape, just right for tucking in our booths. This is an epiphyte, or more accurately, this is a rheophyte plant, which basically means it's happiest when attached to rock or driftwood and not buried in the substrate. Next we'll glue the Anubias minicoin. We'll be placing it on the rocks and the wood in a way that makes it look most natural. As we plant, we'll give them a light spray to keep the leaves and roots from drying out. Next, we'll plant the crypt parva. This one goes straight into the nutrient-rich substrate, and we're using some tweezers to make the job easier. We're thinking of gluing the Bucephalandra sordidula blue right here in this crevice. We're not sure it'll get enough humidity, though the roots will reach the water, but let's give it a try. Time to place the Pagostemon deccanensis in the background and give it a little mist to keep it happy. Let's take a moment to see the progress we've made so far and how everything is looking. Now we're ready to fill the shallow tank. We want to use the water from the quarantine tank where our shrimp live now. This is so we don't waste water, and it'll also feel just like home for them. But first things first, the floating plants have to come out. We're adding some water in a glass container. This is what we'll use to carefully transfer the shrimp from the quarantine tank to the shallow. We're transferring the water with a hose, but we've added a net to the end so no shrimp get caught in the flow. With babies in the tank, we're being extra careful. We wanted to move a bit more water, so we hooked our hose up to a small pump. It made the job much easier, and since the pump is tiny, there's no risk of sucking in any shrimp. Next, we're taking out all the plants and hardscape, aiming for 0 shrimp or snail passengers. First snail spotted, it's going straight to the shallow tank. Now we still need to find its buddy, hiding somewhere in the quarantine tank. Time to remove the wood. It's covered in moss and shrimp love hiding in there, so we'll dunk the mossy side in the water and see if we can get all the shrimp to come out. The last thing left in the tank is the stone. We have to be extra careful here. No dropping it and no bumping it against the aquarium walls. And finally, it's shrimp catching time. We'll be using a small net since it makes catching them much easier, but this is going to take a while. We originally bought just 6 shrimp, but before we could even move them out of the quarantine tank, they started breeding. Now we've probably got at least 15 here, so this is going to be quite the task. Now we'll slowly add the shrimp to their new home, ideally without bringing in too much of the poop that's already in the glass container. Then we'll let them settle in and get comfortable. Now we'll switch on the filter and we'll give it a moment to push out all the air bubbles. Let's check out the shrimp light setting now that they're in the tank. It does look a bit on the darker side, probably designed to make the shrimp colors pop more, but we'll need a bit more light than this. Let's test another light setting, the fish light setting. This looks a bit strange, so we won't be using this one. We'll try a couple more. Out of all of the options, the all light setting looks closest to what we want, so we'll stick with this one for now. And we have some good news. We found the other snail. Now the two little buddies are back together. This one was hiding in one of the big Anubias plants we took out of the quarantine tank. We're adding a few floating plants to the tank to see how they do. If you're setting up a new aquarium, it's a great idea to include as many plants as possible. They help absorb excess nutrients like nitrites, which are byproducts of fish waste or uneaten food. This won't only keep your water cleaner, but it also speeds up the cycling process. Since we want to add as many plants as possible, we have another tissue culture plant, Alternanthera reineki mini. This one is beautiful, and it's perfect for testing our Chihiros light to see how well it supports red growth. It looks like it doesn't come in the gel, which is good. This means we don't have to remove the gel, which makes our work even easier. Next, we'll divide the plant into smaller sections. That way it will be easier to place in the tank. We'll place a paper towel over the plant and mist it to keep it from drying out. We also got some Rotala rotundifolia atra, a tissue culture plant that can create a rich orange carpet with the right light. We'll prepare it just like the other tissue culture plants by breaking it into smaller chunks for easier planting. Tissue culture plants are hard to beat. Not only are they pest-free, but one tissue culture cup can give you an incredible amount of growth. We'll be using this one cup in 2 or 3 of our tanks. Just like with the other plants, we're covering these with a paper towel, which we will mist with water to keep them from drying out while we get the rest ready. Next up, we've picked another red plant, Rotala rotundifolia blood red. This will be another test for our Chihiros light to see how well it can grow red plants. This one doesn't look its best right now, but we'll plant it anyway and see how it develops. The last but not the least, Rotala rotundifolia green. This one's looking really healthy, and we're hoping the mix of red and green plants will make the tank look just as amazing as we imagine. Here we go, it's time to start planting, and even though we've only designated the background area for planting, we're going to fit in as many plants as we can to create a nice full look. As you can see, planting in a shrimp tank isn't the easiest job. Our shrimp are so curious that they have to inspect every single plant that goes in. You might have noticed some changes in the tank setup. We had to remove the diffuser and surface skimmer because the shrimp kept sneaking into the skimmer and ending up inside the diffuser, which was acting basically like a tiny washing machine they couldn't escape from. So to keep them safe, we swapped those out for a spray bar as a temporary fix, at least until we can reduce the water flow and find a safer replacement for the diffuser. Planting is all done. Here's how the tank looks right now. The spray bar might be a bit of an eyesore, but don't worry, we'll be swapping it out shortly. "22 days in and most of the plants are looking great. The only one struggling is the Bucephalandra, so we'll test it in another tank, this time submerged. Good news, we found an easy way to control the water flow. We're using these Eheim double tap connectors. They're super simple to attach to the hoses, and adjusting the flow is just as easy. As you can see, the skimmer is back and we've added this Neo outlet. This is a compact piece. It improves water flow, it also keeps our shrimp safe, and we can finally get a clean, unobstructed view of the tank. And here is the final result. The shrimp seem happy in their new home, the plants have grown nicely, and even the little bit of algae on the rocks makes the scape look more natural and mature. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this project. Please share your questions or suggestions in the comments and let us know what you'd like to see next. If you enjoy our videos, please consider subscribing to support the channel. And now I'll stop talking and let you relax with some cinematic footage of our shrimp in their new home.